So today I'm going to teach you how to express repeating decimals into fractions. Okay, so while you see the color blue there, those are repeating decimals. Like the first one is 0.33. It means the three are repeating. It's like something like 0.3333, they are repeating. Yeah, and while you see 0.16 and while the 16 is in blue, it means it's like 0.161616. And while you see 2.143, it means the 143 is repeating. It means something like 2.143 and the like. And while you see 3.7, the 7 is in blue, it means 3.7777, right? As well as while you see 1.1717, you can see that the 1717 is repeating, isn't it? Also, while you see 2.590, you can see that the 90 is repeating. So how can we represent the repeating decimals in mathematics? So I can represent the repeating decimals in mathematics. Instead of the color blue, we can use a bar. We can use something like 0.33 bar, like that. Even this one we can say 0.16 bar. Now we can say 2.143 bar. The bar switch there. Now we can say 3.7 bar. Now we can say a 1.17 bar, because the 1717 is repeating. Now I can say 2.590 bar. The bar should be on 9090. That's how we can represent this in mathematics. I didn't just have the necessary functions to write it in a normal way, but I can say here there has to be a bar here, a bar there, a bar there, and a bar there, and a bar there. Yeah. Alright guys, so let's start answering the first question. So as I said, we have the first question is the same as 0.33 bar there, isn't it? So how do you answer this? You always answer this by saying let x be equal to 0.33 bar. The bar has to be there, isn't it? Now this should be your equation 1. Alright, so now guys, here there are simple rules of answering this. The first rule is that you should always shift the decimal you should always shift the decimal. For instance, let me just write this. For instance, if you have something like 0.213 bar, right, should always shift the decimal before the bar. Always. That's the first thing. So you should always shift 1 like that. It has to come here. Now every time you shift, if you shift once, that's like you're multiplying by 10. If you shift twice, that's like multiplying by 100. If you shift 3 times, that's like multiplying by 1000. You just count. If you shift once, that's like you're just multiplying by 10, isn't it? 1 0. If you shift twice, that's like multiplying by 100, 2 zeros. If you shift 3 times, that's multiplying by 1000, 3 zeros, isn't it? All right, so always take the decimal before the bar. All right, now in our question, the decimal is already before the bar. It's here, isn't it? It's before the bar, right? It's already here. So what are we going to do? We're just going to shift over the bar. So there are just two rules. If there's a number like this, if there's a number like 2.134, like a number here before the bar, shift the decimal here. Then later on, you're going to shift over the bar. Now, when you shift over the bar, since this bar means it's repeating, the 3-4 will repeat. Every time you cross over it, it will repeat itself. Yeah, and if it repeats itself, you just cross once over the bar. So the first rule is take the decimal here before the bar, then come and shift over the bar, come across over the bar. Now in our question here, the decimal is already before the bar, isn't it? It's already before the bar. Our decimal is already before the bar. So we're just going to shift directly. So here we're going to shift this decimal many times. 1, 2. That's like multiplying this function by 100 so that the decimal can come here. So I'm going to multiply it by 100. I'm going to multiply it by 100. Everything by 100. So 100 times x, this will be 100x equal to, now this decimal shift, if you multiply this, that will be like 1, 2, isn't it? So it will be 3, 3. Now I said every time the decimal crosses over the bar, it's like these numbers will repeat themselves, isn't it? Okay, this is equation 2. Now guys, I want you to know something. When you just cross over the bar, it means there's no more crossing. So I can't cross again. So you just cross over the bar once. There's no more crossing, it's done. So what you do is that you subtract, you're going to subtract always equation 1 from equation 2 from 2. You always subtract the last one and the immediate from the last. Now here we have two equations. We have this one and this one, isn't it? So you subtract this last one, you subtract this one from this one. And then if we had 3 equations, I would subtract the second equation from the third equation. If I had 4 equations, I would subtract the third equation from the fourth equation. If I had 5 equations, I would subtract the fourth equation from the fifth equation. So it's like the last, you subtract the last and the second one, and just immediate from the last. Those are the two ones that you subtract. So let's subtract this equation here from this one. Let's subtract it. So subtracting, you should have something like 100x. Let me remove this first in brackets. Should have like 100x equal to 33.33 bar. Then minus open bracket x equal to 0.33 bar, isn't it? The decimals have to be aligned in the same, they have to be aligned like that. All right, now if you subtract 100 minus x, this is 99x equal to, now if you subtract this bar and this bar will cancel, you're going to remain with 33 over 99 over 99. So your x is equal to 33 over 99. I think the 3 can enter into that one, the 3 can enter into that 3. So the answer is 1 over 3. So if you punch this on your calculator, you're going to have something like 0.3333, of which you have solved that one. So that's how you express the following in the fraction form: a over b. Okay. All right, guys. So let's try the second question. We have 0.16 bar, isn't it? So what did we say the first step was? So the first step should be let x be equal to 0.16 bar, right? Now here the decimal is already before the bar, so we'll just shift it directly, isn't it? Now how many times are we going to shift this decimal? 1, 2. So it's like we're multiplying. This is our equation 1. The first equation that relates to x should be equation 1. Are we together? So I'm shifting this bar 1, 2, so it's like I'm multiplying this equation 1 by 100. So I'm going to have x equal to 0.16 bar. I'm multiplying it with 100, isn't it? With 100. Now 100 times x, this is 100x equal to, if you multiply this to be 1, 2, so to shift to 16 point. Now I said every time you shift the decimal over the repeating, the repeating guys also repeat it. They will just repeat themselves. Whenever you shift the decimal over the repeating, the numbers that you have gone over the repeating, they also repeat. Unlike it's just a number, I'll show you on the last question. So this is our equation 2. Now I said when you just cross over the bar once, it means you cannot subtract anymore, or you cannot cross over again. You cannot cross over again, you just cross once. So from here we're going to subtract 1 from 2, isn't it? So if we subtract 1 from 2, we're having something like 100x equal to 16.16 bar minus x equal to 0.16 bar. Okay, so if you subtract this, you're going to have 99x equal to this will cancel, equal to 16. So now dividing, so 99x equal to 16 over 99 over 99. So your x is same as 16 over 99. All right. Now guys, so this is a continuation, the third one from the second one. So let's try out this one. Where we're going to say let x be equal to 1 point. Now guys, as you can see, there's 1717 repeating, so we can same ones 1.7 bar, isn't it? Because the 1.7 or 17 is repeating. So I can just say 17 bar, right? This should be our equation 1. Now I'm going to shift it here to the far end. Always shift it to the far end. That's if the decimal is before the bar. So this is a bar and the decimal is here. So if the decimal is here before the bar, shift it to the very far end of the bar. And then the decimal will walk how many times? 1, 2 times, like twice, isn't it? So that's like 2 zeros, 100. So I'm going to multiply my equation 1 by 100. This will be that. Sorry, guys. So this will be x equal to 1.17 bar times 100, right? So if I multiply this over, I'm going to have 100x is equal to 117.17 bar. As I said earlier, whenever it crosses, it comes here over the bar, the nature of these numbers under the bar here, they'll repeat themselves like this. That's the nature when you cross over the bar. Right, and you can only cross what? Once. You cannot cross twice. So if you cross once, it's done. The rest is subtracting. So I'm going to subtract, as I said earlier in the first video, you subtract the second from the last one. The second from the last one. All right, so I'm going to subtract equation 1 from 2. So I'm going to have 100x. I'm going to have 100x equal to 117.17 bar, then minus x equal to point here 17, then we're going to have 1 here. Okay, so if you subtract this, you're going to have 99x equal to, this will cancel, we're going to have 118, 16, isn't it? 116, because 7 minus 1 is 6. So over 99 over 99. So our x, guys, here, our x will be, so x will be equal to 116 over 99. All right, so now let's look at the last example. Let's look at the last example. So now the last example, guys, is a very good one. We're going to say let x be equal to 2.590 bar, right? As I said earlier, the ones in the blue are the ones which are repeating, and if they are repeating in mathematics, we put a bar on top of the ones repeating, the ones in the blue ink, the numbers in the blue ink. It means they're the ones repeating. Now, guys, always you have to know that you should always, before you shift over the bar, our essence is to bring the decimal from here to there, right? Now, from all the examples that we've been doing, the decimal has been before the bar, if you have noticed. So no wonder we've been shifting directly over, right? Now, in this question, there's a number 5 before the bar. So I need to bring this decimal first before the bar here. I need to shift first here before I shift over the bar. So if there's a number, it's like the format is always, if there's a number saying saying a constant C, right? And then we have maybe 3, 4 bar. Should first always bring the bar here. Then you can now shift over. Same if you have 2.13, 21 bar. First bring the decimal here before the bar here. Then you can shift now over the bar. Are we together? All right. So now I'm going to shift the decimal first here before the bar. Now, how many times is it taking me? It's just like 1 0, isn't it? 1, right? So the one with 1 0 is like 10. So I'm going to multiply this equation with 10. So I'm going to have x equal to 2.590 bar. I'm going to multiply it with 10. All right, I'm going to have 10x is equal to 25.90. All right, so this is my equation 2. So I've brought it where I wanted the decimal to be. The decimal should always be before the bar, so that I can shift it over the bar. You cannot shift direct from here to there. You can't do that, right? So first you have to bring it here, then you can shift now over, right? So now shifting over, how many zeros are those? 1, 2 zeros. So I'm going to multiply this equation with 2 zeros. All right, so 10x equal to 25.90 bar. I'm going to multiply it times another 10. Now 10 times 10, that's like how many times? First 1, 2. That's times 100, sorry, because here there is 9 zeros. So 1, 2. Yeah, 2 zeros. That's 100. Now 100 times 10, that's 1000x is equal to 2590. Now since this decimal is crossing over the bar, these numbers repeat themselves as I said earlier. This is now equation 3. Alright, now guys, what should you subtract? You should always subtract we should always subtract two of them. The last one, even the one before the last one. So you are going to subtract equation 2 from what? From 3. That's what we're going to subtract. So subtracting this, I'm going to write the 1000x equal to 2590.90 here, minus open bracket 10x equal to, I'll put the decimal here, the 90 bar there. Then I'm going to write this guy here now, which is 25. All right, guys, so let's continue this. So what are we having here? So let me erase this that I can have enough space. All right, so erasing this. All right, so 1000 minus 10, that's 990x. 990x equal to, if you subtract this, will cancel. We can borrow 1 from 9, it will remain 8, right? Then 1 there. 10 minus 5, we're having 10 minus 5 is 5, 8 minus 2 is 6, so we're having 25, 65, right? Okay, over 990 over 990, so our x is the same as 57 over 22. All right, guys, so that's the answer. And how did I get 57 over 57 over 22? You can try out numbers like 9 or even 15. You can try them out. I'm sure they'll give you. But try out 45 in there and 45 in there. I'm sure it will give you that. All right, guys, so for more videos, you can subscribe and like and comment as well. Yeah, and also for questions as well, you can ask. Thank you so much. See you in the next video.